this program even better for the students, so that maybe there's a hole in the system, or what they call a gap that needs to be filled, and that'll help FIRST make that even better. So that's really cool to know that. Again, the teams, this is it, baby. The elimination tournament starts right after lunch. We're going to start the kickoff for the Alliance selections right toward that, but we've first got to get through our qualifications rounds. Right now, those top 8 spots are not cemented in. If you are 9 and below, you can still make it to that top 8 spot. So start working with your alliances and start helping them get there, because it's really cool. Because remember, we go through the qualification selections. But with that, there's this person I wanted to say that was really cool that we've seen in all of our videos. This is the president of FIRST Robotics. I want to introduce Mr. Don Bosey.
Oh. Good morning. So it is awesome to be here in the Pacific Northwest. Now they've got these really bright lights, so I can't see anything. But the one thing I can see is all those twinkling lights that are out there, and it looks really cool from down here, I can tell you that. And somebody up there has the green glow sticks, which I also think are really cool. So thanks so much. It's awesome to be here on the final day of the Pacific Northwest Championship. Congratulations to all of you on making it this far. It's an impressive accomplishment. And the amazing thing is I will get to see about 40% of you in less than 2 weeks in St. Louis, and I'm looking forward to that. How many of you think you're going to be in that 40%? Raise your hand. Well, if I had my way, you'd all be there, but they don't let me have my way. So it's great to be here. It's exciting. We're coming down to the end of the season. Any rookies in the audience today? Any rookie teams that are here? Well, welcome to FIRST. You're in great company, because as you just heard, this is my rookie year as well. I joined FIRST about 10 months ago, and I can only say that I truly appreciate having joined what I would say is the nicest, most gracious community you could ever imagine. And I hope they've been equally welcoming to all of you, and hope this has been a fantastic first season. Let me ask one other question. How many of the teams here today use 3D printed parts on your robots? Let's see a show of hands and a little round of cheer. Quite a few of you, right? Did anybody take advantage of the 3D printers we had available through First Choice with your kit of parts? Anybody? Cool. So it's amazing to see how far that technology has come and how rapidly. So I thought I would share a story with you of an article I read a couple weeks ago that I thought was very, very cool. And I think it really points to something important about FIRST. So I read an article that neurosurgeons in the Netherlands just did the first successful implant of a 3D printed skull into a 22-year-old woman. Now this woman, 22 years old, normal human skull is 1.5 centimeters thick. Hers had grown to the point where it was now 5 centimeters thick and was putting incredible pressure on her brain. You can imagine the types of extreme headaches, loss of vision, all sorts of problems that come with that. And so the surgeons in the Netherlands, obviously working with teams of engineers that did CAD work, that studied the materials that the human body could adapt to, basically did this. They removed her natural skull and implanted a 3D printed skull, much like the 3D printed parts that you put on your robots. And as I mentioned, they used CAD, they used materials technology, they used all the same sort of design processes that you use in your project. I'm happy to report that that surgery actually happened 3 months ago, and that woman is now back at work with absolutely no signs of any issues. How amazing is that? So why do I tell that story? Well, I think it's really relevant to FIRST. I hope you're all here having a great time, learning a lot along the way. And obviously, what you're learning, the skills, the capabilities, the technologies that you're exposed to are very relevant in solving some very real-world problems. But I hope the other thing that you take away from being part of FIRST is the passion and the inspiration to use that knowledge, to use those skills, and to use that technology to make this world a much better place, as these surgeons just did. So that's really what FIRST is all about. We want to inspire you and expose you to all sorts of cool stuff, cool technology, and we hope you have a heck of a lot of fun in the process of doing it. And in the process, we also hope that everyone here continues to turn into wonderful citizens who are really committed to making the world a better place. That's what I'm excited about with FIRST, and that's what I love so much about being here with you. So thank you very much to everyone. I wish all the teams a fantastic day today. It'll be a lot of fun. And let's show the world what the true meaning of gracious professionalism and cooperation are all about. Have a great one.
That is so awesome. Thank you, Don. And he's going to be, I believe he's going to be cruising the pits and checking out your robots and stuff. So really keep an eye out for him. And while we're talking about cruising the pits, our next guest, a lot of you have been interviewed by, a lot of you have been talking to. And this particular person is the Chief Technology Officer at Tripwire. So you're talking with some very high up individuals during this interview at times, students. And with that, I would like to introduce Mr. Dwayne Melassa.
Good morning. So I started in software when I was 19 years old. Not much older than you, but there was no such thing as FIRST then. And oh, by the way, I don't have a script, but I have a checklist. How many people appreciate the value of a checklist? They definitely come in handy. And you know, one of the things that's been interesting to me is how much fun I have getting involved in these events and talking with you out there. And you know, for me, the reason is that I believe that you guys are the future of technology. You know, and we hire people like you. And why? You know, I've got kind of 5 categories of things that excite me and that I see a lot of, you know, kind of emerging properties from you guys as I talk to you. First is technology and art, you know, which is not something we used to talk about together. You know, we used to talk a lot about algorithms and specs and things like that. And what's really cool in the last, you know, decade or so is that technology and art are really coming together in terms of beautiful design, elegance, you know, really strong science and technology, but very usable and, you know, almost invisible when you start to implement it. And you guys are coming up with some really great functional designs that have a lot of elegance, and that to me is really cool. So that's 1. 2, problem solving. Problem solving to me is something that will come in handy no matter what you do in life, whether it's technical, non-technical, but you guys are solving real problems for potentially, you know, future problems that will help us have a better world. The third is that I really get a feel for this thirst for learning. You know, one of the things that I do, I always talk about living a life of genuine curiosity, where you're always curious about how things work. You take them apart, you put them back together, and I see that kind of spirit coming out from every one of the teams that I talk with. You know, it's all about what are we learning, what can we learn, and how do we figure out a better way to do things. The 4th one is teamwork. And a long time ago, a mentor of mine told me that, you know, when I got involved in software, hey, you know, team equals software. If you want a good quality product, you got to have a good quality team. And this is all about working together. And I'm seeing a lot of that, you know. So to me, what does it mean? When you're in a team, you got to be a leader, but you got to be a good follower. And one of the critical things is you got to be a good communicator and work together and keep everybody on the same page. And you know, that's another thing that gives me energy when I see that happening in the pits. And the last is really fun. Anybody having fun? Well, guess what? When you start working, if you do it right, it's fun. You know, earlier this week I was in Boston at a tech conference, and I gave a talk on what cybersecurity professionals can learn from Diablo and Minecraft. You know, so a lot of fun. So you can mix all this stuff up and, you know, it doesn't have to be drudgery. It can be really awesome, really fun. And that is what I hope all of you get out of this. And, you know, from my perspective, it's great talking with you. I get a lot of energy. I get to see the future of engineering, and I can't wait to work with some of you, and I can't wait to see what you do to change the world. So thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you, Dwayne. That's really cool. And you guys, that's so true, too. He brings some great points. So when you see him in the pits, maybe you can interview him a little bit. And with that, interviews, this amazing set of people are pumping in so many hours. As you look at them up here in the front row, and we're going to hopefully get them dancing this afternoon. You guys think that'd be cool? So let's have our judges stand up. Let's give them a warm welcome, guys. So cool. Thanks, guys, for putting in your time. And also, there's those that are always out there. They're spread all over the field. It's our referees. I'd stand up for them, too. Everybody remember what Roxy did for the Blue Alliance? Head referee. And then there's our safety folks. I'm not sure where they're at. They may be cruising the pits, making sure everybody's still safe. Looking for them to wave. Okay. Hi, safety guys, wherever you are. I'm sorry, I don't see you. And the one thing is that as we go through this and meet all these various peoples, there's some really cool stuff that the companies and the universities and colleges have really latched onto. They get it. They realize that you guys are the future. You students who built a robot in 6 weeks. You students who develop and built business plans, financial plans, procurement documents and processes for your team. You students who did interviews with judges and stuff. These places are looking for you because when you come into the workforce, that's what we like you to have as a foundation coming into the job, because I don't have to teach you that when you get there. So that's what's really cool about this program. For students, the one thing that's really done is these colleges have put up, what the video will tell you, $16 million. But as of today, it's $19 million in scholarship money that's waiting for you. And it's really cool. There's companies out there today that are hiring high school juniors and seniors, most of those, for intern positions. That's the coolest thing, and that's what gets us started. So with that, we really want you to watch this video and see how it's impacted others' lives.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
I'm Pascal.
And I'm Sophia. And we're all FIRST scholarship recipients. I'm an alum of Whitney High School Robotics in Southern California. I'm using my FIRST scholarship to go to the University of California, Berkeley this year, and there's no reason you shouldn't try to do the same. One of my team mentors found out about the FIRST scholarships program for us. Our mentors teach us so much more than robotics. The skills I gained fundraising and grant writing for my robotics teams really helped me when it came time to work on those applications.
I was on Team 4266, New Oxford Robotics. One of my mentors also pointed me to the FIRST Scholarships website at usfirst.org/scholarships. I was surprised to find opportunities that were not just for engineering majors. My scholarship is making it possible for me to major in biology and political science at Wake Forest.
I'm from Team 1425, Error Code 0 in Oregon, and I'm at University of Washington thanks to a Bart Kamen Memorial FIRST Scholarship. I didn't think I had any business applying for a robotics-related scholarship. The competition would be so tough, but I'm really glad that I did. I know kids on my team who didn't apply for opportunities I'm sure they deserve to win.
Being a FIRSTer can make it a lot easier to qualify for some help. You have to check out the FIRST scholarship page at usfirst.org/scholarships. You'll find almost 900 scholarship opportunities from over 165 different providers. Most scholarships are available for FRC and FTC participants. Not all awards are restricted to STEM-related majors, but they all value first participation in a specific way.
The most important thing to remember is
Apply, apply, apply.
no one ever received a scholarship they didn't apply for.
Good luck, and we'll see you on campus.
And that is so true. And I always go off script on this real quick. Students, I want you to think about one thing. If you leave high school and you graduate high school and you decide you want to go straight into the workforce, you can earn $10 an hour. That will earn you $15,000 a year. If you invest between 2 to 4 years of your life, you will triple you could up to triple, if not quadruple that hourly rate to $30 to $50 an hour in an engineering position or in some type of technical support position. And so think about that, 2 years to 4 years of investment for a doubling, if not tripling your hourly rate. And one thing I want to leave with the students right now, never listen to anybody that tells you you cannot go to college. Never listen to anybody like that. I want you to realize you can go to college, you can go to a trade school. I'm not going to say you're not going to have bills, but I'm going to tell you right now, you can afford it by working the financial differences there. So don't let anybody tell you you can't. Sorry, I got to go back on straight. I get off my soapbox now. Sorry, guys. Again, does it work? You bet it works. That scholarship does work. There's 4 universities down here that have been investing their time and money in scholarships, and there are 16 students through the Pacific Northwest side of this, down here in Irvine, I believe, that have actually received scholarships. So with that, we want to kind of roll through the scholarship recognitions on those things. And so it does work, guys. And it's really cool. And if you're thinking, oh, it's only $1,000 scholarship, you know what? That's $1,000 that you may be able to go buy a brand new laptop with, right? I mean, so it's not about the quantity. It's about what you get. This is free money, folks. Anyways, with that, the really cool thing I want to do right now is I need everybody to stand up. So everybody stand up. Come on, stand up. Everybody stand up. Okay, now we got to all remove our hats. The green hats, I see the white stripes. Green hats, white stripes. That's got to come off, bud. Yeah, you. I see you. Pull the hat. Take the hat off. There you go. All right, and with that, these guys just got off tour, so we're really fortunate to have them come in the house and conduct the national anthem for us. So could we please? Wow, you guys are like awesome. All right. So welcome the Pacific Northwest Marching Band Ensemble.
So proudly we hailed
All right. And with that, you've heard him all day and a lot of day yesterday with Carl, but this morning, our game announcer, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Brian Andrews.
Good morning, Portland teams. For match 100, let's get on the field, get these robots in position, and fire up.